Welcome to the morning update. I'm Erin Ramsey. Prince Phillip has returned to Windsor Castle after being discharged from hospital. The 99-year-old walked out of King Edward VII Hospital in London, where he was recovering after heart surgery. He spent 28 nights in hospital after feeling unwell and will continue his recovery at home. Meanwhile, reports in the US claim Prince Harry has spoken to his father and brother following the Oprah interview last week. It's understood there was a telephone call with Prince Charles and William last weekend, which Harry described as unproductive. He says no one in the royal family has spoken to Meghan yet. The European Medicines Agency says there is no evidence linking the AstraZeneca vaccine to blood clots. 15 countries have suspended the jab while an investigation continues. Emma Cook from the agency says 17 million people have received the vaccine and there have only been 37 cases of blood clots.
There is no indication that vaccination has caused these conditions. They have not come up in the clinical trials and they're not listed as known or expected side events with this vaccine.
Some Special Forces soldiers who faced the sack after the Afghanistan war crimes inquiry can now be discharged on medical grounds. All have proved they suffered psychological injuries from their time in the Defence Force. They can now access support payments from Veterans Affairs. And Britain has announced a shake-up of its foreign security and defence policies. Prime Minister Boris Johnson says the cap on nuclear warheads will increase by 40%, a new national cyber force will be set up, and a national counter-terrorism centre will be built in London.
The overriding purpose of this review, the most comprehensive since the Cold War, is to make the United Kingdom stronger, safer and more prosperous while standing up for our values.
In sport, the AFL has again postponed announcing the introduction of a concussion sub until this morning after more talks with the clubs overnight. Paul Marsh from the AFL Players Association has criticised delaying the decision until the day before the comp begins.
Having this done so close to the start of the season and probably what we thought could have been avoided by actually going through the right processes last year when the rule changes were made that have probably led to this.
Richmond plays Carlton in the opening match at the MCG tomorrow night. Lance Franklin continues his recovery and could be right to play for the Swans in round 2 at the SCG against Adelaide on Saturday week. And in cricket, David Warner, Josh Hazlewood and Moses Henriques have been rested from the New South Wales team to play Tasmania in a Sheffield Shield match starting this weekend. Daniel Hughes, Liam Hatcher, Matthew Gilkes and Lachlan Hearn come into the Blues lineup. And in entertainment news, Elliot Page has opened up in his first interview since coming out as transgender. The Juno and the Umbrella Academy actor spoke to Time magazine, saying he has since undergone surgery. Taylor Swift and Harry Styles fans are madly trying to lip read behind-the-scenes footage of the exes chatting at the Grammy Awards. The pair are seen laughing and smiling. It doesn't appear there's any bad blood. And there are calls to impose a 20% local content quota on Netflix and other streaming services. Australian actors, including Brian Brown and Simon Baker, are behind the campaign, claiming it could create 10,000 jobs. A quota would force streaming services to invest 20% of their Australian revenue into local productions. And that's your latest from the Nova Podcasts team. We'll see you this afternoon for another episode of The Update.